Hi everyone and welcome along to Sonic Academy with me, Chris, and sat beside me is the delectable Phil.
Delectable.
What? Today we're in tech tip mode and we're going to look at layering. This is coming from pretty much all the interviews we've done over the last few months. From Island Bluestone to Meyer to Hotmouth, and we did, who did we do the other night? Matt Lang, and they're talking about layering, and we were looking at a student's work the other day.
Yeah, it was a mix by track we were trying to sort of piece together, and we noticed that there was some layering going on, but the layers were very similar, so it wasn't really doing what
it was the same sound and just slightly EQ'd, like a dB here and a dB there, and
really layering. You're trying to get sort of fundamentally different sounds to do different things, to sit in different places. So we're going to do that. We're using this might be familiar to you, these chords. So a bit of our good buddy Wayfair Audio.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with this saw. We're just going to build a basic super saw and Anna.
So we're building sort of the main section of the layer. Is that correct? The main body, is it?
Yeah, just one of the sort of sections. Yeah. There'll be various different. I'll do 3 for this particular one. So we're going to create a super saw. Don't want it too super sawy. So we've got retrig off, which gives us our nice fluffy fuzzy sound. And then we want to create another oscillator with retrig on. Retrig, when it's on, gives you the attack of the saw.
So it starts the saw at the same point every time?
Exactly, and that just gives us a bit more attack happening. And when we combine them, we get the thing. So you might think, well, Wayfarer's got bigger super saws. Well, we'll get to that in a second. One of the effects that he said in his interview that he uses Maserati GTI, so we're going to use it.
This is a Waves plugin, and I love this.
It's great. So, put it on clean mode. Get your sensitivity, so it's sort of hitting in the green. You can hear instantly one of the things it does. It's modeling a clean guitar amp and some compression in there, so it's giving you a really nice attack at the start. And we want that dirty grind, sort of full sort of sound. So we'll play it with it on and with it off. It sounds quite sort of fizzy and nice, and then pay attention to the attacks when I switch it on and off here.
Even the upper mids, really.
So it's just gelling all the mids together and making it all sound really nice. So we'll duplicate this, and we're going to make another one. This time, we want it bigger, wider, floatier. So that one doesn't have even, I think I've got any width on it really. I'll actually put a bit of width just in. So that's another area that you should be paying attention to when you are layering is width. So if everything is at the same spread, that's gonna,
your ears aren't going to pick out.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to pick the different layers. So we're going to have a layer that's sort of somewhere in the middle, and then we're going to sort of try and get the layers spreading out wider as we go along. So, and I don't know. This makes sense in my mind automatically, is that the heavier and sort of thicker the sound, the more in the center it should be, and absolutely. As it gets fluffier and lighter, the wider it goes.
It's the same as your I mean, I visualize mixdowns as a funnel.
Yeah.
So the bass is the bottom of the funnel, and the top end is the top, and it's sort of this width at the top and narrow at the bottom, and the same for layering. And I think the other thing to sort of suggest is that when you're layering, you're sculpting frequency areas. You're trying to sort of that's the key to layering, is trying to get the pad, the 3 different layers to sort of occupy their own frequency space.
Yeah, and ultimately, you'll probably not. You're not going to hear them as necessarily distinct things. What you want is a full sound that has character in various areas. So, the character in this area is that mid area, you know, you can hear those sort of upper mids that are just like crunchy and nice and, and saturated and full. So we're going to go to the second area. So, so for this, I'm going to make it more dense by adding more voices. So I'm just going to get all 8 in there. And we'll get our width right out.
So now we're pushing this one out to the side.
And we want it to be a bit fizzier so we can... And we will also just cut some of the lows out, so just an auto filter. So not too much. We don't want to. I think that is still there, so we can take that out. So we'll listen to the difference between the two. So you can sort of hear there is quite a difference between the two. Maybe we can get that a bit.
So are we saying that this second one's more occupying the upper?
Yeah.
So would you ever add in like a dash of white noise just in the...
maybe at the end if I feel it needs it. When you layer a lot of saws, the more saws you layer, the more theoretical white noise that you're sort of creating, you know, because there's so many harmonics and frequencies that are being bundled together, it almost creates its own white noise. And especially if you're using something, you know,
like distort, yeah.
So let's see what they sound like together. Yeah, it's sounding pretty cool. And then next we will create another one. And this one I'm going to try and really get like super wide, super sort of fizzy and bright, and just really in the upper range. So we'll... bit more detune. Obviously we're filtering it there. And then I'm going to use a couple of simple delays. And what we want to create is that sort of really wide smear effect. So we'll turn it down to time, turn our milliseconds down to like 20 and like 30.
So this is an ultra short delay.
And that instantly pushes it to the side. So you can hear that there.
So if you're on Logic out, you would use the sample delay tool there.
Yep. So what I can do is I'll grip this. And then I'm going to add another, just a copy of that into there. So we're going to have one with 22 and 33, and then I'll create this one with like 40 and 50. So I'll just turn it down a tiny bit. Maybe even a wee bit longer. Actually, I'll swap these around so we've got like... Now I'm going beyond where you would normally go in terms of milliseconds.
Yeah. Like 50 milliseconds.
Because it is a bit more smeary. It's not like really part of, you know, we're not putting this on a main element of sound.
This is in the back. This is tucked underneath, isn't it?
So let's hear what it sounds like. Let's just bring in the width out a wee bit further. So we'll just... creating a bit more sort of smear. And then when we add this together... Yeah, so that's all sounding cool. So what we can do there, so you can either, Ableton's really cool in this way, where you can either keep them on a separate track and you've got 3 MIDI parts to deal with, or what we can actually do is group these different bits together. So if I grab these and group that, and then I can grab this and this, group that, and grab this group and put it in here, and do the same with this one.
So you're grouping a channel and then putting that into. So it's almost like a group within a group, is it?
Yeah.
An instrument rack.
So it just means that we only have one MIDI channel to deal with. We've got nice little faders then for each of our parts. So the next sort of step I would do with this, we'll create a bass quickly. So
I was going to say, yeah, like it's a bass saw. Just
yeah. So I'll just drag this and out to another track. We'll use the same notes. Cut off the bottom. Let me see our bass notes are. So we just want to keep the bottom intact.
There you go.
Yeah. See that?
We top one.
That one can go. Oh. So Audion was saying that he's just using basic saws, so we'll just do an int.
So you've used 2 oscillators there, saw.
Yep.
One voice.
Now the low end probably goes a bit lower than I would like for this, or well, certainly lower than it is in the track. And the other thing we can do quickly is just throw on the Maserati. It actually works on. And we can just add an auto filter then, and I'll maybe put it before, and just do a peak. There's a plugin that you get with UAD called Voice of God, and ultimately what it is just a low pass filter with a resonance setting. So if you're wanting that MIDI bass, you can sort of do that, and everything will resonate around that sort of nice.
I love that sound. It's a real boxy sort of sound.
Yeah, it's a nice boxiness to it. Let me just check. These were put down one lower. Would it sound nice? Nope.
No, it wouldn't.
Just checking. And then we'll just do some quick reverb. So again, we want to, we don't want to sort of completely drown our. Let's use Valhalla Room. So for the synthy stuff, I really digging Bright's Cistern.
And is it a short?
It's very big, but we need to shorten it down. And then another sort of trick, I think we've showed this before, but I'll do that slightly differently this time. You can use a gate.
Yeah.
And we can sidechain a gate to our group. So the minute our gate is a noise gate, so when there's no noise, it shuts off. So we can flip that.
Yep.
So it's the opposite way around.
So when there's no noise, it opens the gate and lets that reverb through.
Yeah, so what we don't want to do when the notes are playing is have everything washed in reverb.
Yeah.
We're just bringing that reverb in when there's no other stuff happening. And it just gives you the real sense of space, but you don't have to
Swamp everything. You
swamp
don't
everything. Yeah.
absolutely. So there you go. There's how you layer big, thick
super saws. Yeah. And the same techniques apply to pads, strings, whatever you're doing. Try and visualize initially. You want, if it's a pad, you're not going to want that big MIDI sound. You're going to want the floatier stuff, but you might want something really wide. It's about making choices about your layers that are adding to the
tonal quality.
The tonal quality of the mix, and I want to create more space, so I'll add something that's creating more space. So it's, I would say the fundamentals of it are, you don't want to necessarily process your one individual track to do all the stuff that you needed to do.
Yeah.
So if you've got a saw and you want it to be wide, but you want it to be full as well, and you want it to be, fizzy, you might not do that all. And you don't want to approach that all, or try approaching
in one track.
In one track
across 3 layers.
Yeah,
and try and go. This layer is going to be the fizzy layer. This layer is going to be the attacky layer. This layer is going to be the body.
Yeah,
and think of it like that, and try and sort of put them in compartments.
So it's not just about layering 5 of the same thing up just to make it sound louder, effectively.
Do try and sort of precision things away from each other, so they have their space and they do a job. The other thing is, don't just put more and more saws in for the sake of it, because that's not going to work. Make sure it's doing a specific job.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope that helped, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks everybody for watching, commenting, and indeed liking. We really do appreciate all the support we get here on our Sonic Academy YouTube channel. So if you found this video super useful, please, we'd love you to hit the subscribe button. We update the YouTube channel every week with new content. And if you want to watch some more relevant content, just click on the videos beside me.